it all goes back to what we were just saying, and I'm sorry for stomping on you, but it all goes back to that. How many guys are in this lineup because they took the biggest offer they could get? And I don't begrudge them that. I don't begrudge them that. Let's go through the list. Who's here because they got the biggest offer? I mean,
I've had zero issue with
Uyghur-
Tanev since he showed up. He's here for that reason.
Tanev,
Right?
Markstrom,
I haven't.
Kadri.
Yeah, and yeah, I haven't had an issue with Kadri at this point, but there's lots of guys that come here in free agency. Blake Coleman. I mean, Zach Hyman did the same in Edmonton. You do that again, right? This is the nature of adding in free agency. You go to the high bidder 9 times out of 10.
Right. Argue it. Hey, it's real working fucking well for the Flames. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up.
No, but
you're
listen,
doing a hell of a job.
I think you're making good points, but you can't make these absolute statements, right? Like you never sign a guy. Well, no, it works well for other teams.
That's not what I'm saying, Ryan. Don't spin my words into stupidity. I'm saying you don't.
I'm not spinning into stupidity.
Yeah, you are. Don't interrupt me. Shut the fuck up. You've brought in a bunch of high-paid guys, and they're your core guys. Who have you developed that's your core guy? Rasmus Anderson?
Anderson. Yeah.
Backlund's on his way out. He's 35 fucking years old. What has he done? He hasn't helped the team win his whole career. He's not. You guys argue this, but you're wrong. You say Boston. Who helped that team become what they are? Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, who's the guy? Krejci. They traded for Chara, great or
sure.
Free agent. Yeah. That was a huge one. But for the most part, those guys are brought along.
Yeah, no, hey, absolutely, man. No one's here saying the Flames are the best run organization in the league. No one is. Like, it's just that, like, there have been instances where you do extend guys immediately. It works great. Like Campus Lindholm, I give you the example. That's Boston. They did it. Bang, signed him. He was hardly there. It's worked great. So
did he not play? Did he not play? He played.
It would have been weeks, not months.
But he did play.
Oh, but I mean, if you're going to watch 5 games, I think it was almost immediate. I'll look the timeline up. It's not a long amount of time. I think the point that I'm with Red on is when you have a great room with great leaders and guys that have won, it's easier to bring in Nichushkins and Lindholms and other guys that, can come in and win with you. They had a better foundation for sure. I think a big issue with this team is I think Daryl wants to be the leading force. And I still wonder, I don't think captaincy is a big thing, but I think them not having a captain reflects maybe a bit of a void there. Like, who is their star player that's won? Kadri, but he's just arrived. Right? And I think you'd agree with that, Rhett.
100%. And part of the issue I have, I don't think Kadri's played poorly. I think he's probably played Kadri-style hockey, and he's a good – but I want Kadri when he hasn't won because I want him hungry to win.
Okay. I think the flip side would be you'd want to bring him in to teach that wisdom of winning, and a guy that's been there before. You always ask, what has he won? What's he done in the playoffs?
I'm not a...
until last year, was Kadri a guy that fits your bill or no?
What do you mean?
Well, you always say, what have these guys done in the playoffs? You guys are overvaluing guys that never win. Kadri was a part of some of those Leafs teams that flamed out early, right? Last year's the year he got over the hump. Colorado didn't get through the second round until last year. Through the third round.
So the point you're making is that that Kadri is one of those guys that they haven't had, which is a winner.
Yeah, which you're saying you don't have any winners, and now you're saying, well, I wanted him before he won. Like, which guy do you want, the winner or the guy that hasn't won yet?
But you signed him to the biggest contract you could. That's the only reason. I want Kadri growing and learning how to win as a part of a core. If you'd kept Tkachuk, Gaudreau, Monahan, if you develop these guys and they come together, they have an identity. They don't need Daryl Sutter to make their identity for them. That's what I'm trying to get at. Your core can't be pieces from around the league that are all the highest paid guys that you can get. And that's what you've created in Calgary. Now, you can say, well, Gaudreau left, and what can we do? No, well, that's part of the issue of developing this and creating it. That's part of it. Michael Backlund has never helped his team get over the hump, has he? And I actually think he's played good.
But I
think he was his best player against Edmonton last year. But that doesn't, right? Like, you want guys that are hungry.